just with the coronavirus and stuff, just thinking about like building resiliency in the lung system. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I think we're good. So to start off, if you can, just coming to lie back in your space on your mat. Legs and arms can fall out to the sides. Some people like to have a hand on the chest and a hand on the belly. That's fine. Or you might have a couple of hands on the belly. That's fine. And just being there with the rising and sinking of your breathing. Just relaxing down and tuning into your breathing here. And you might notice that you feel your breathing more up in your chest area. And you might feel it down kind of in your rib area or down in your belly. And it's interesting, typically we don't even use the bottom third of the lungs a lot, or even the bottom half of the lungs. We're just using the top half. So there's really a lot of potential. Your lungs go really deep down there. So just taking a couple more breaths. Good, and when you can feel ready, letting your eyes open here and letting your right knee bend, linking your fingers around it, and drawing it in. Along through your left leg here. Good, and then taking your leg across your body, coming into a twist. You can reach out through that right arm here. Being with your breathing. Good, and then releasing out and switching it up. So have your left knee draw in, right leg lengthens out, long through the crown of your head. And you can let that leg come across too, so coming into a twist. Doesn't matter how far. Good, and then when you're ready, you can release out again here, coming back. And then just see if your knees can come in and just kind of squeezing into your knees here. Just kind of holding your knees. You might even lift off in the head and shoulders, kind of rounding into your back. Good, and then release. Feet can come down to the floor. Arms at your sides, palms down. You can inhale here, and then exhale, pressing down through your feet, lifting into your hips, lifting into your back. So just kind of opening gently through the front plane of your body here. Nice and strong in your legs, strong in your arms. That's it, good. And then you can let your hips come down to the floor, and then just letting your knees draw in. You can kind of sway a little bit in your knees, rocking a little bit. That's it. And then when you're ready, you can link your fingers around your right knee, pressing out through your left leg, coming all the way up into sitting. So coming into a comfortable cross-legged position here. Okay, and you're welcome You can always sit on a blanket if you like, just to get a little bit more lift. That's fine to do. So hands can be on your knees, and just thinking about rotating in your upper body, circling into it. Good, and then coming the other way too. That's it, and then coming back to center. Right fingertips or palm at your side. Inhale, left arm lifts, and then exhale, you can curve your way over into that side stretch. Kind of opening through the left rib area here. Good, and then releasing and switching your legs up. Whichever leg's out in front, bring it on the inside. Left hand can come down to the floor. Inhale, right arm's gonna lift. And then exhale, you can curve your way over again. Breathing, kind of opening through those intercostal muscles. We've got those muscles that connect our ribs, help us to kind of expand and breathe. Sometimes those can get kind of tight, so just stretching into things. Good, and then when you're ready, releasing out, and coming back. Good, so we've got our lung energy channels, and you might even want to trace them on yourself. Okay, so like your right arm, right here, kind of at the shoulder pointer point. That's the first point on the lung meridian line. And it kind of comes down the shoulder, down the inside of the arm, and into the thumb. Okay, so we've got one on both sides. Okay, so kind of stretching and boosting into this area helps the anatomical lungs and also just the energetic system associated with the lungs and the body. The pair organ to the lungs is the large intestine. If you flip your hand, it's almost like that line continues like a loop. It comes up the index finger, up the outside of the arm, around the shoulder, and then up the neck into the top of the lip or the nose here. Okay, so the lungs and the large intestine are kind of like a pair or like a family. But so they both work with this sense of like attachment, sometimes grief if things are stuck and kind of closed off, versus if things are open and flowing in a good way. There's this quality of like letting go, of like releasing, and that's the physiological function of the lungs as well, right? Somebody that's breathing deeply, they're relaxed, they're letting things go. When we're kind of tight and closed off, there's like a holding on, there's an attachment there. So in order to kind of think about opening into these, one thing that you can do is make L shapes in your hands. This is really good for getting into the energy lines and also broadening through the trunk here. So you can think about just doing your best you can to point up through your index fingers, pointing forwards through your thumbs, and just kind of relaxing your elbows, opening through your collarbones, through your ribs. You might even be looking up a little bit. And just breathing. Breathing nice and deeply, reaching out. Just letting things gradually expand and soften here through your wingspan. Good, one more breath. That's it. And then you can just kind of release out. You can shake out a little bit. And then just imagine you have dinner trays in your hands here. So you're a waitress or a waiter. And I like to think about kind of pushing up through the pads of the thumbs. Okay, so this is again the lung energy line going through there. So you're kind of pushing up, and you might even be almost pressing back a little bit. So you're kind of lifting up. You've got kind of this this kind of U shape going on. It's okay if the elbows are bending. Just kind of lifting and expanding, finding your sweet spot, finding a good place here. That's it. Taking one more breath, really lifting, really opening, softening into things. Good. And then when you're ready, you can release down, shaking out a little bit. And then you can let the soles of your feet come together. Okay, maybe first just extending out through your legs, bouncing into your knees. Good. And then you can have your feet come together here. Okay, so knees splaying out. Hands can come onto your ankles or onto your feet. And you can kind of fold forward a little bit over your legs here. You might even let your chin tuck at the end. Just kind of letting the outsides of your hips get a good stretch. You might kind of bring your face down a little closer towards your feet. Again, continuing to breathe nice and smoothly, just the best you can. Just kind of being with your breath as it is. Maybe letting it be just a tad deeper. And that's it, taking one more breath here. And when you're ready, just releasing out, taking the outsides of your legs and bringing your legs in, and just flopping your knees a little bit side to side. Good, so make your way forward into a tabletop position. So hands can be at your shoulders, knees can be at your hips, and tops of your feet can be on the floor. Really rooting down here. And when you're ready, you can let your toes tuck, if you like. Let your knees lift, let your hips lift. So kind of looking back between your legs. It's fine to bend your knees. And you might even be pedaling into your heels a little bit, kind of stretching the backs of your legs here. Nice and strong, feeling very rooted down to the floor. Good, and then you can let your knees come down when you're ready. Make sure your wrists are doing all right, just shaking out a little bit. That's it. And then just seeing if you can come into a push-up position. And for you, this might just be a knee push-up. That's fine. Or you might let your toes tuck under and you might lift into a full push-up. A little bit of engagement there in your core. Lower belly drawing in, nice and strong. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Knees can come down. And then just lowering your body all the way down to the floor here. Okay. And think about your left arm reaching out. Okay. And let your right hand push down. So shifting your weight into your left hip a little. And then let your right knee bend and kind of slide up towards your hand. That's it. And then let your right arm lift up. And again, you're welcome to make that water gun, that kind of L shape. And you can kind of let your arm even, it can go straight up if you want, or you can let the arm come back a little bit. Just kind of reaching through the webbing of your right hand there. Opening through your chest here, your ribs. And letting things stretch as you breathe. Softening. And also having that intention just to kind of reaching out through the fingers. So you're opening through the lung energy channel and also the large intestine. Good, one more breath. That's it. And then you can release down here. Okay, and we'll come right into the other side. I'm just going to do a 180. You can stay where you are. I want to make sure you can see me. So this time the right arm is going to reach out. Left hand comes down, and the left knee slides up, shifting your weight onto your right side. And then let your left arm this time lift up. So again, you might be shooting your water gun up towards the ceiling, or you might just kind of let it hang back a little bit here. And opening through that arm, through your shoulder, through your ribs, and letting your breathing flow. That's it, one more breath. And releasing down again here, okay? The left leg can reach out. And tops of your feet on the floor. Hands can be at your shoulders here. On your inhale, lifting into a cobra. Exhale, release. Good, inhale, lifting into it. Exhale, release. Good, last one. Inhale, lifting into it. And releasing. Good, pushing up into tabletop. And then sitting back on your heels. Okay, so just kind of sinking down into a child's pose, heavy in your hips. Forehead might be on your mat or on a cushion, on a block. That's it, and then rocking forward into tabletop here. And then just seeing if you can come all the way up into standing. So toes can tuck, coming all the way up. That's it, and standing tall. So just stepping a little bit wider than shoulder distance, knees are sinking down, and just let your body swing a little bit, side to side here. The heel might lift off as you swing. Good, and then letting things slow a little bit and coming back to center. Good, so let your knees bend here, legs about hip or shoulder distance, and then have your hands come on to bending knees, okay? So you got a little bit of a bend, you're kind of pushing back through your hips, and then from here you can just begin to kind of lower down towards the floor. You might even let your arms dangle a little bit. Just kind of finding a waterfall position, looking back between your legs, finding the sweet spot, breathing. Good, taking one more breath here. That's it, and on your inhale, knees can bend, press down through your feet, you can roll your body all the way up into standing. That's it, and then just thinking about rolling into your shoulders a couple times. Inhale up, exhale back and down, up, back and down, up, back and down. That's it, last one. Back and down. Good. So think about now, if you can, we're going to do the same kind of a forward fold, okay? But see if you can have your thumbs interlocking, okay? So again, we're kind of holding that and we're reaching out, in particular through the index fingers, but also through the other fingers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it behind the back, though, okay? So legs are still about hip or shoulder distance. And again, you can let your knees bend as much as you need to. And if this is uncomfortable, you might just stay here. You might just stay here and reach. Or if it's uncomfortable, you can always have your hands down. That's fine, arms dangling. But you can just kind of begin to fold forward with that interlocked thumb position. Really kind of opening through your chest. And holding that lock with your thumbs the best you can, no forcing. Kind of reaching out through your fingers too. That's it, breathing. Good, letting things release. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it, easy does it, coming all the way back up. Okay, and then just kind of shaking out a little bit into your wrists, into your arms, your legs. Good, so think about your knees bending a little bit, legs hip or shoulder distance, okay? And then again, kind of making those L's. You can make actually like a picture frame here. Okay, so you're kind of reaching out, you're looking down through your picture frame. And the idea is to really just see if you can kind of tense into your arms here. So you're kind of squeezing into your arms, not your neck and your head, but your arms. You're kind of squeezing, you're wrapping the muscles around the bone. And also maybe you can do that in your legs a little bit, just kind of tensing a little in your legs, a little bit in your hips perhaps. So kind of like from the neck down, just kind of tensing into things, really squeezing, really pressing out through that kind of camera frame. That's it, nice and strong. 5, 4, really squeezing nice and tight. 3, 2, 1, good job. And then just really shake out any residual tension, shaking it all out. Good. Okay, so think about, see if you can come to the front of your mat and take a big step back in your left foot. Okay, so right leg's out in front. So for you, the heel might be lifted back there, or you might ground down through the back heel, that's fine too. Maybe you can just bring your hands onto your hips for a moment here. That's it. Good. And then you can inhale and let your arms lift up, coming into like a high lunge here. Good. And then let your palms come together here. So left hand is going to draw an imaginary bowstring. Right hand's going to make an L. Okay? So on your inhale, just think about drawing that bow out, looking towards the notch in your right hand, pointing up through that index finger, forward through the thumb, and then exhale, just kind of releasing for a moment. Good. Inhale once again, drawing it nice and taut. Looking over that notch, expanding. Good, exhale, release. One more time, then we'll hold it. Inhale. And releasing. Good, last one here. Maybe you can kind of hold it nice and taut. Kind of softening into things. Really pushing out through that left elbow, really expanding through your ribs in a comfortable way. Breathing down a little bit lower maybe. Fine if the elbows are bending. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And then releasing out. Okay. And then stepping the back foot in and shaking out a little bit, bouncing into your knees. Good. So what we'll do is we'll come into same foot, same leg goes back. So the left foot goes back. And just see if you can come down and have the back knee on the floor. So you might need to have a blanket under the back knee, that's fine. Just kind of finding something that's sustainable for you here. Okay, and you might even be able to kind of shift the front foot forward a little so that you kind of sink into it a little bit. You may find you can do that. Okay. And then, again, thinking about making that picture frame, okay, just if this is right for you. You might just stay with the hands on the leg or the hands on the hips. But if it feels right for you, you kind of sink forward into the legs, and you kind of lift up through the arms. No forcing. So you're really kind of opening through that front plane of your body again. Lifting. Breathing, relaxing. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Releasing your arms here. Okay. And then just bringing that right knee back. So coming into a tabletop position here. Okay. And then squaring off with this, the screen again. So make sure the right knee is okay. So right knee will be down. I'm mirroring you now. So right knee is down, left foot is out for you. Left hand can be on your side here. Inhale, right arm's gonna lift, and then exhale, kind of curving into that side stretch. If this is uncomfortable on the hip or anything, you can always step the left foot in, bend the knee, and do the same thing. Again, kind of opening through the intercostal muscles, all of those tiny little muscles that kind of connect the ribs, and they can get tight. This is helping to really stretch and soften into them. Good, one more breath. And on your inhale, you can release out. And then right hand can come to your block or down to a cushion or the floor. Left arm can reach up towards the ceiling. So you're kind of expanding through your chest here. And letting your breathing flow. If it is comfortable for you and you want to kind of try it, you're always welcome to do like a side plank where the bottom leg comes maybe behind the top leg and you kind of lift there, but you don't have to. Continuing wherever you are. That's it. And on your inhale, easy does it, coming back up and out of it. Okay, and once again, just seeing if you can do a downward facing dog shape. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, letting your knees and your hips lift. Again, looking back between your legs here. And making your body into a mountain, really feeling that strength. That's it. And then when you're ready, you can bring your knees down to the floor. So you can either be in a high kneel position here, or if it's feeling a little rough on the knees, you can come up into standing. That's totally okay too. Okay, so once again, just think about the L's. Okay, and imagine that you're 007. Okay, so you're shooting out through your water guns, right? So on your inhale, think about kind of rotating. It's almost like the palms rotate up. So you're rotating your arms up. You're even looking up. And then exhale, rotating your arms down. And you can let your chin tuck, rounding in your back, your upper back. Good. Once again, inhale. Just kind of pointing out through those fingers, opening through your arms. That's it. Exhale, rounding into it. Really working into those energy lines. Couple more, going at your own speed, really broadening through your lungs, through your ribs. That's it, two more. That's it, and then coming back to center. Okay, making sure things are feeling all right. Once again, coming up into standing, if you're not there already. Good, and just stand tall for a moment. Legs hip or shoulder distance, knees are soft. If you want to let your eyes close, you can. Just tuning into your breathing. And just kind of checking in, tuning into how you feel, how the energy in your body feels. We've done a few postures on one side of the body, right? So maybe you can even notice a difference there between the sides. Good. So you can let your eyes open here. Okay, so again, coming towards the front of your mat, And this time we'll take a big step back in the right foot. So we'll switch it up. So the left foot's out in front. Okay, once again, you can have your hands on your hips here, and you might have the heel be lifted, or you can ground down in that right heel. Just feeling rooted, feeling strong. And then you can inhale when you're ready. You can let those arms lift up. Coming into the high lunge. That's it. And then releasing back down. Okay, so this time the right hand's going to draw the bowstring. Okay, left hand's going to make the L. Index finger keeps pointing up. Thumb points forward the best you can. So on your inhale, you draw that bow. Looking out over the notch. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, drawing your bow, maybe making it a little tauter, a little harder to draw. Good, and release. Inhale. Release. On this last one, you can stay in the drawn position, letting that right elbow come out, pointing up through your index finger, really broadening all the way across your chest and through your ribs. Feeling your breathing a little bit lower. Really relaxing into it. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And then stepping forward in the back foot. And again, just bouncing out a little bit. So the same foot is going to step back and we're going to come low with it. So the right foot comes back and then hands can come down and the back knee, the right knee can come on the floor. So the idea, and you choose what feels best, the idea is to kind of shift forward a little bit into the hips, you know. So you're kind of shifting into it a little bit, but no forcing. And once you've kind of got a sense of that, you can again make that picture frame, okay? And on your inhale, you can kind of lift up as you kind of sink down. No forcing. Kind of drawing in a little in your abdominal belt there, protecting your back, a little bit of a kind of a drawing in through your belt. Reaching up, and softening into it. And that's it, taking another breath or two here. That's it, and then you can release out, coming back, and from here, letting your left leg come back. Okay, make sure the knees are okay. And this time, you'll have your left knee down, okay? And you'll have your right foot step out. So again, I'm mirroring you here. So your right leg's out, and you can always have the foot down and the knee bending, just kind of like this, that's fine. So right hand can be on your hip here or down your leg. Inhale, left arm's gonna lift up. And then exhale again, you can kind of curve into that side stretch. And letting those kind of intercostal muscles just come into focus here, kind of the sides of the lungs. Feeling your breathing here. Noticing the tight spots and letting things melt in their own time. That's it, and then releasing out again here. So left hand can come down to your block or blanket or the floor, and then you can just reach up through the right arm this time. So expanding right across your chest there. Breathing. Again, some people like to do like a side plank, that's fine. Left foot can kind of come under or behind the right. You can do that if you wish. That's it. And then when you're ready, easy does it. Coming back up and out of it here. Good. Once again, just come into tabletop. And this will be our last down dog. But see if you can make it a little bit of a wider mountain shape, a little wider. So toes can tuck, and you might step your feet just a little bit further wide out to the side. Hands might even come an extra inch or two wide. So just really let your body take up a lot of space here, both physically and energetically. Just really letting yourself be big. Just really, really be big, like a mountain. You might feel your heels a little closer down towards the floor as you lift. That's it. And then when you can feel ready, you can let the knees bend again. Let them come down. Make sure your wrists are doing all right. And then just coming to sit back on your mat here, once again. A comfortable seated position. And so the right leg can either be bending here underneath, or the right leg can be straight, whichever feels best for you. So you can either have the right leg underneath and the left foot steps over the right leg. This is a good place to be. Or if it's more comfortable, the right leg can just extend out. All right? So whatever feels good for you. You can always sit on a blanket if you need a little more lift. And you may just find you're holding the left leg as you twist. Or you may again think about that picture frame, and you might turn towards the left, and it's almost like you hook the right arm on the left leg, and you're kind of reaching down through your picture frame as you do your twist. It's almost like your left inner thigh is coming in towards your abdomen, and you're really kind of reaching out through these arms, pointing up through the fingers, making the picture frame. And you can look back over your shoulder if you want. Continuing to breathe. That's it, and then releasing out, coming back. Okay, so two options with the legs here. You can either, and again, you can always sit on a blanket. You can push down and scoot your left leg over your right. So you've got your feet kind of pointing out to the sides. Or if that's a little bit much on the hips there, just do like a regular cross-legged position with the left leg out. Okay, so your choice. Okay, so you're kind of sitting tall here. And so you may just find that this is a good place to stay. You can hang out and breathe and feel that hip stretch, right? Or again, if you want to do the interlock thumb shape, you can kind of do that, kind of reach back, kind of hold the thumbs. You might even find you kind of lean forward a little bit over the legs and the arms can come up. Or you might just simply reach out through the index fingers and the fingers. That's it, really broadening through your chest. And breathing nice and deeply, letting things go. Again, this quality of boosting the lungs, getting things flowing, the tight spots that are in there, kind of the holding back or the attachment, it's kind of like getting those flowing in a good way, moving around. That's it. And then releasing out and shaking out. Okay, and then just one. So palms together, right hand makes the fist, left hand draws out. So you can inhale, look towards the notch, and just stay here for a couple breaths. You might even notice that your breathing is already freed up a little bit. Good, and then you can release out. Easy does it. Okay. Ooh, left leg can come off. Right leg too. And hands can be down behind you. Feet are wide. Just let your knees do some windshield wiper movements here. Just kind of moving from side to side. Good, and then coming back to center. Okay, so just for a moment, comfortable cross-legged position. Just take a breath or two here. Notice how you feel. We've done a couple of poses on one side of the body now. Just seeing if you can be with your breathing and be with your body. Noticing where you can feel the benefits of the yoga. Bringing that quality of mindfulness to your body. Okay, so we've got the other leg this time, okay, which is the left leg. That's going to be your bottom leg. So you can have it bending or you can have it straight. So the right foot's going to step over the left leg here, okay, and it can be, the bottom leg can be straight if you want, that's fine. Might need to sit on a blanket. The idea is to be somewhat level in your hips here, but no forcing, okay? And again, you might just hold that right leg and do a simple twist here. That's a good way to do it. Or again, you're welcome to make that picture frame and kind of sit tall and turn to the right. And then you can let the arms lower. It's almost like the left arm is on the right, the outside of the right leg there. So you can either just kind of look down through your picture, or you can keep kind of looking back over your right shoulder. Breathing. One more breath. Good, and then you can release out here, coming back. Okay, and then again, that option with the hips here, with the legs. You may find that you can kind of lift off in your hips and scooch your right leg over your left a little more. So you got the toes pointing out. Okay, or if that feels a little, it doesn't have to be perfectly stacked. And if it feels a little bit much, you can always just do cross-legged with the right leg out in front. Okay, so your choice. So getting yourself into a good seat here, a nice grounded seat. Okay, taking a couple breaths, feeling that stretch in your hips. And once again, just if you like, you're welcome to make that interlocked thumb position. And it might just mean you're doing it and pushing back through the fingers and you're sitting upright. That's fine. Or you might find you kind of lean forward a little bit over the legs. The arms might lift. Good, feeling that opening through your hips. Good, breathing. Stretching the things. Good, one more breath. And when you're ready, you can release back up here. Okay, and then last thing, with the left hand making the bow, taking the bowstring. Right hand makes the L. Inhale, drawing it out. And just kind of relaxing here. The left elbow is drawing out, right finger pointing up. Really feeling that breathing down into the bottoms of your lungs. Really letting that energy flow. That's it. And then when you're ready again, you can release out. Right foot can come off. And then once again, feet down on the floor, just doing some of the windshield wiper movements. That's it. Coming back. So once again, comfortable cross-legged position. So there's so many, according to like East Asia and the whole energetic system that underlies East Asia, China, Zen. There's lots of ways you can boost the lungs. So we're stretching into them, we're breathing more deeply, we're bringing awareness, kind of letting go, letting things kind of go, letting things come, letting things go. You can also eat a clove of garlic a day. I know a number of people that in order to boost the lungs, they'll eat 1 clove of raw garlic a day. That really seems to be, that's the pungent taste. And that's the taste that really nourishes and boosts the lungs and the large intestine. So onions are good too, those kinds of things, pungency. The other thing is there are some points actually that you can work into, acupressure points, that really boost this dimension of things too. And we'll just do the one on the lung line here. So I'll mirror you. So right arm out. And basically, it's just below the wrist bone on the thumb side of the hand. You're just kind of pushing into a little bit lower, maybe an inch or two down. Just with your left thumb, you're kind of finding that sensitive point there. You might need to dig around a little bit. And you're just, once you find it, where it's maybe a little bit painful even, a little sensitive, you can just take an in-breath and then an out-breath and really relax and push into it. And you kind of just let the energy shoot up your arm. It's a really nice way of kind of getting things out of stagnation, really moving things along. So just kind of staying with it for about 10 seconds, pushing pretty, relatively strongly into it. Really kind of feeling that point getting activated. So relaxing, pressing into it. That's it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And then releasing out, shake out a little bit. And then we'll switch it up. So left arm. Okay, so again, the lung line comes down the arm and then into the thumb, right? So again, below the bone of the wrist, there's a few points here actually. So you just tune into your body. Where's the most sensitive one? The one that you can really feel it when you push into it. And once you've got it, you can take a big inhale and an exhale. And really relax and then press into things gently. Or pretty firmly actually. Letting that energy move through your arm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And then again, you can kind of shake out a little bit. Okay. And then coming on to your back, once again here, same way we started the class. And just let your feet again be down on the floor. So we're going to do a bridge pose again, like we did before. Now you're welcome to just do a normal bridge where you lift, or again, you're welcome just if it's comfortable. It might not be. You can interlock the thumbs beneath your hips, kind of walk your shoulders in together, hold that lock, and reach out for your fingers as you lift. So it's up to you. Just coming into a bridge position again, breathing. Strong in your legs, your arms. That's it. And then you can release down. You can let your knees draw in here. You can hold your knees or hug your knees or circle, sway a little bit. Good. And then let your knees fall over towards your right side. You might need a blanket under the bottom leg. Right hand can be on the top leg. Left arm reaches out. And just coming into a twist. One more breath. Good, and then you can release your legs back up. And then just see if you can come over towards your left side. Right hand might rest on top. Right arm can reach out. Coming into that twist. One more breath. That's it, and then you can release out again here. Coming back. And then from here, just for the last few minutes, just coming to lie back. In your space, legs and arms falling out to the sides. If you need to put on any warm clothes or anything, you can. Again, some people like to have a hand on the chest and a hand on the belly and just kind of be there with the breathing this way. Just completely relaxing down. If it's comfortable for you, allowing your eyes to close. And just tuning into the rising and sinking of the breathing in your belly. Or someplace low down in your body. Lower ribs, lower chest is fine too. Inhaling. Exhaling. Relaxing. Releasing. Being with your breathing as it is. We did a lot of work on nourishing and getting things flowing in a good way through the lung energy channels today. When the lungs are kind of closed off and tight, there's typically that sense of like holding on or squeezing, or often sadness and grief is associated with the lungs. But when things are beginning to kind of clear and open and flow, there's much more of a sense of, when there's a balance there, this quality of being able to kind of let go, to breathe deeply, to move into each moment, into each phase with kind of like newness, not holding on to the past. So during these last few minutes, just really allowing the really worthwhile practice that you've just done really permeate your being, really permeate your body and benefit you. Inhaling, exhaling, relaxing, releasing, connecting with your breathing. And when you can feel ready, gently beginning to move into your finger, moving into your toes. And when you can feel ready in your own time, coming to rest on your right shoulder, on your right side. That's it. And when you can feel ready, coming all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Taking a few final breaths here. And rubbing your palms together, rubbing over your eyes. Tapping from the crown of your head down the back of your neck, all the way to your lower belly. And grounding and centering here. Okay, all right, well, thank you so much for doing this. Thanks so much. This is the first online class that I've done, so I really appreciate everybody coming. Just a couple things. So make sure you drink a little bit of water afterwards. We really